Mae West was known for embracing her desires with unapologetic confidence. It was often said that she charmed nearly everyone on set before a film wrapped. But she wasn't alone. Many early Hollywood actresses were notorious for their insatiable romantic appetites, indulging in passion without restraint. Even after multiple encounters in a day, their hunger for excitement remained unchecked, making their off-screen lives as dramatic and captivating as their performances on screen. Elizabeth Taylor's life was a whirlwind of romance, scandal, and irresistible allure that captivated Hollywood. Renowned for her stunning beauty and magnetic presence, Elizabeth possessed a charm so powerful that men were drawn to her like moths to a flame. Off-screen, her passion for love and intimacy was as famous as her talent, making her one of the most talked-about figures in Hollywood history. Her bold, romantic escapades and larger-than-life persona only added to her mystique, solidifying her status as a true icon of glamour and intrigue. One of the most scandalous chapters of Elizabeth Taylor's life was her affair with singer Eddie Fisher, who was married at the time to her close friend, actress Debbie Reynolds. Their passionate romance played out in the public eye, shocked Hollywood, and permanently tarnished Elizabeth's image as America's sweetheart. Fisher left Reynolds to be with Elizabeth, but their intense chemistry quickly fizzled out, leaving both their relationship and reputations in shambles. Elizabeth had an insatiable desire for love and pursued relationships with a fiery intensity that few could match. She married 7 times, each union marked by passion and complexity, making her love life as legendary as her career. Elizabeth Taylor possessed an unrelenting passion for love, pursuing relationships with an intensity that few could rival. She married 7 times, often swept away by passions so overwhelming that they eclipsed reason. Among her marriages, her tumultuous unions with Richard Burton stood out. Their on-again, off-again relationship was defined by fiery arguments, grand reconciliations, and a magnetic physical connection that became legendary. Even in her later years, Elizabeth never shied away from her desires, proving that passion was a lifelong journey. After divorcing her final husband, Larry Fortensky, in 1996, she chose a life of independence, but carried with her vivid memories of a love life as bold and extravagant as she was. Vivien Leigh was a woman of undeniable allure, with beauty and charm matched only by her relentless passion for love. She was the kind of person who always knew what she wanted and was willing to achieve it, regardless of societal norms or who might be hurt along the way. Even while married, Vivien pursued her desires with unwavering determination. One of her most famous love affairs was with Sir Laurence Olivier, whom she set her sights on despite both being married to others. Vivien and Olivier's intense romance began during a vacation in Capri, ultimately leading to the dissolution of both their marriages. Their passionate connection became one of the most talked-about relationships of their time. Vivien's romances were not limited to Laurence Olivier. She was rumored to have had numerous affairs during their marriage, including relationships with co-stars, directors, and even prominent political figures. Her reputation for irresistible charm and intense desire was widely known in Hollywood and the British theater world, with whispers of her allure and passion spreading through social circles. Even as she battled mental illness and declining health, Vivien's love life remained tumultuous. Her deep passion for physical and emotional connections often brought chaos to her relationships, adding layers of complexity to her already scandalous legacy. Vivien Leigh's life was defined by her raw sensuality and unrelenting pursuit of love and desire, making her one of the most captivating figures of Hollywood's golden age. Mae West was famously unapologetic about her passions, often boasting of having hundreds, if not thousands, of lovers throughout her lifetime. She had a well-documented preference for muscular men, frequently surrounding herself with young athletes and strong men to satisfy her desires. West treated romance as both a source of pleasure and creative inspiration, indulging in passion multiple times a day. For her, it was more than just entertainment. It was a way of life that fueled the bold, fearless persona that made her an enduring Hollywood legend. Mae West's escapades became the stuff of Hollywood legend, and she famously declared, "I never loved a man as much as I loved myself." Her lovers spanned from powerful studio executives to blue-collar workers, as she viewed intimacy as an art form to be explored without limits. Her home was said to be a personal playground of pleasure, where indulgence knew no bounds. Many of her partners claimed her appetite was insatiable, with whispers that she kept a rotating roster of favorites to ensure her desires were never left unfulfilled. Fearless and uninhibited, Mae West cemented her legacy as one of Hollywood's most liberated and unapologetic icons. Tallulah Bankhead was a force of nature, unapologetically driven by desires she never cared to conceal. Renowned for her razor-sharp wit and undeniable talent, she lived a life that defied convention at every turn. Tallulah spoke openly about her affairs, proudly boasting of her many lovers, both men and women, without a hint of shame. Her fearless approach to romance made her one of Hollywood's most scandalous and fascinating figures. Her partners ranged from legendary actors like Gary Cooper and John Emery to women whose names were whispered only in the most risque circles. For Tallulah, passion wasn't an indulgence. It was a necessity, often involving multiple lovers in a single day. She summed up her philosophy best with her signature wit, famously quipping, "I'm as pure as the driven slush." Tallulah Bankhead was known for her sharp wit, fearless personality, and a rather unconventional standard when it came to romance, one inspired by her rumored affair with John Barrymore. So impressed by his legendary attributes, she famously declared that no man could measure up, literally, unless he matched Barrymore's endowment. This bold preference carried into her marriage with actor John Emery, whose resemblance to Barrymore initially intrigued her. Never one to be subtle, Tallulah delighted in showing off her sleeping husband to guests, flamboyantly boasting about her choice. Beyond her personal escapades, she was the mastermind behind some of Hollywood's most infamous parties, where the boundaries between conversation, flirtation, and indulgence disappeared entirely. While many were shocked by her unapologetic openness, Tallulah thrived in the whirlwind, treating love, pleasure, and life itself as her own extravagant stage. Barbara Lamar lived a fascinating life, almost like a story straight out of a movie. She had a powerful desire for love and often married the people she fell for. Over her lifetime, she married a total of 5 times. Barbara began marrying at a very young age, only 17, an age that would be considered far too young for marriage by today's standards. Even earlier, at just 14, she had already run into trouble with the police for dancing in adult nightclubs. Being arrested didn't make her conform to the rules. Instead, it only fueled her rebellious nature. After her first marriage, Barbara continued to fall in love and marry again and again. She often married, divorced, and then moved on to marry someone new, embracing a cycle of love and relationships that defined her unconventional life. Barbara Lamar surrounded herself with a vibrant mix of Hollywood's most intriguing figures, from dazzling dancers to rugged ranch owners. Drawn to the glamour of the city's nightlife, she thrived on the energy of lavish parties and exclusive clubs, always chasing the next thrill. She lived for excitement, often indulging in reckless pleasures, even when they came at a cost. Barbara's love for all-night dancing and the lure of excess led her down dangerous paths, including the use of substances like heroin, choices that ultimately took a toll on her health. Tragically, her life was cut short at just 29 when she succumbed to tuberculosis, a cruel disease that made every breath a struggle. Though her time was brief, Barbara remains a symbol of unrestrained passion and fearless individuality. She lived by her own rules, never shying away from risk or emotion, leaving behind a legacy that continues to captivate those who admire the bold and the unapologetic. In Hollywood, Lupe Velez earned the nickname Mexican Spitfire, a fitting tribute to her fiery spirit and unfiltered passion. A celebrated actress, she lit up the silver screen with her magnetic presence, starring in numerous successful films. Yet beyond her cinematic triumphs, Lupe's personal life was a whirlwind of romance, drama, and intensity. She was known for her many high-profile love affairs, particularly with leading men of the era. Among her most famous lovers were Clark Gable, the dashing heartthrob, and Charlie Chaplin, the comedic genius. With her undeniable beauty, quick wit, and irresistible charm, Lupe had a way of captivating anyone who crossed her path, leaving behind a legacy as one of Hollywood's most unforgettable and passionate stars. However, Lupe's fiery nature extended beyond the screen, making her relationships as intense as they were tumultuous. She was fiercely possessive, often consumed by jealousy at the mere thought of her lovers showing interest in someone else. When rumors surfaced that Clark Gable might be spending time with Marlene Dietrich, Lupe's temper flared, and she didn't hesitate to make cutting remarks about her supposed rival. Her competitive streak also extended to her female colleagues, most notably Dolores Del Rio, whom she openly criticized. Her outspoken nature and frequent clashes with other actresses created tension within Hollywood's social circles, making it difficult for her to maintain close friendships. While her passion and boldness made her unforgettable, they also added layers of complexity to her already dramatic personal life. By her mid-30s, Lupe Velez faced mounting challenges that cast a shadow over her once glamorous life. Whispers of an alleged pregnancy by a married man fueled scandal and deepened her emotional turmoil. As rumors swirled, Lupe found herself increasingly isolated, struggling with profound sadness and uncertainty about her future. Tragically, her story took a heartbreaking turn. Overcome with despair, she took a fatal overdose of sleeping pills, bringing her life to an untimely end. Her tragic passing serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of mental health and seeking support in moments of distress. No one should have to navigate such struggles alone. Reaching out for help can be a lifeline, reminding us that even in our darkest hours, we are never truly alone. Ava Gardner's allure was so irresistible that Frank Sinatra famously called her the greatest love machine he had ever known. Fearless and uninhibited, Ava embraced her passions without apology, indulging in romance with an intensity that few could match, sometimes multiple times a day. She once quipped that her zest for life was best expressed behind closed doors, and those drawn into her orbit found themselves utterly captivated. With a magnetic charm that left lovers spellbound, Ava's presence was nothing short of intoxicating, making her one of Hollywood's most legendary sirens. Ava Gardner's love life was as captivating as her on-screen presence, extending far beyond her 3 marriages. Her first husband, Mickey Rooney, shattered their union with his relentless infidelity, while her marriage to Artie Shaw crumbled under his controlling nature. But it was her 3rd marriage to Frank Sinatra that became the stuff of Hollywood legend. Their love was a tempest, passionate, volatile, and impossible to ignore. Their relationship was marked by fiery arguments, dramatic breakups, and irresistible reconciliations, a cycle of chaos fueled by an undeniable chemistry that neither could escape. Their connection was so intense it teetered between obsession and destruction, proving that some loves burn too brightly to ever truly fade. Ava Gardner's romances extended far beyond her marriages, weaving a web of intrigue and passion that fascinated the world. She was rumored to have captivated literary giant Ernest Hemingway, who admired her fearless spirit, while billionaire Howard Hughes relentlessly pursued her despite her indifference. In the 1950s, during her time in Spain, Ava found herself enchanted by bullfighter Luis Miguel Dominguín, drawn to the raw masculinity and danger of the corrida. Tales of her celebrating bullfights until dawn, often in the company of triumphant matadors, became the stuff of legend. Unapologetic in her pursuit of pleasure, Ava embodied sensuality and defied convention, leaving behind a legacy of passion and audacity that continues to mesmerize generations. Marlene Dietrich was as fearless in love as she was on screen, embracing a life of passion, defiance, and unshakable confidence. Unbound by convention, she openly explored her desires, captivating Hollywood with her unapologetic sensuality and bold experimentation. A legendary figure both in cinema and romance, Dietrich was known for engaging in multiple affairs in a single day, her lovers ranging from silver screen icons to brilliant intellectuals. She was drawn to men like Gary Cooper, whose rugged masculinity intrigued her, and John Gilbert, with whom she shared an undeniable chemistry. Equally unafraid to follow her heart beyond societal expectations, she had deep connections with women, including writer Mercedes de Acosta, whose letters revealed a relationship marked by passion and intensity. Marlene Dietrich's love life was as mesmerizing as her cinematic presence, daring, unconventional, and endlessly intriguing. Marlene Dietrich's diaries and letters unveiled a life driven by spontaneity and an insatiable hunger for passion. She often recounted fleeting encounters that began with a single glance and unfolded into nights of intoxicating secrecy. One such tale described a whirlwind weekend affair with a studio executive where time seemed to dissolve, leaving only desire in its wake. Dietrich's fearless embrace of love and sensuality made her a trailblazer both on and off the screen, cementing her legacy as an icon of unapologetic freedom and allure. For Marlene, indulgence wasn't a luxury, it was a way of life, and she pursued it with an unmatched intensity, turning every moment into a masterpiece of passion. Marilyn Monroe's love life remains one of Hollywood's greatest enigmas, steeped in fascination and speculation. Her ethereal beauty and magnetic charm captivated some of the most powerful men of her era, making her the ultimate object of desire. With her breathy voice and radiant smile, Marilyn was said to cultivate an intimacy in her relationships that was both intoxicating and unforgettable. Among the most legendary was her rumored affair with President John F. Kennedy, a secret romance whispered about for decades. Their clandestine encounters were said to be charged with passion, with Marilyn leaving no moment unembellished. Shrouded in mystery, Their alleged liaisons only deepened the intrigue surrounding her, cementing her status as an icon whose allure continues to mesmerize the world. Marilyn Monroe's second husband, baseball icon Joe DiMaggio, reportedly struggled to keep up with her intense emotional and physical needs. She was said to crave intimacy daily, sometimes multiple times a day, a dynamic that added strain to their already volatile marriage. After their divorce, Marilyn's love life remained a subject of endless fascination, with rumored affairs involving co-stars Yves Montand and Marlon Brando. Speculation of an alleged romance with Robert F. Kennedy only fueled whispers of a love triangle involving the Kennedy brothers. Yet, beneath her legendary allure, Marilyn often spoke of an unfulfilled longing for deeper emotional connection. Her passionate and widely discussed relationships seemed less about indulgence and more about a search for love, security, and meaning in a world that often reduced her to a mere object of desire. Lana Turner's legacy as a goddess of seduction often rivaled the drama of her most iconic on-screen performances. Her love life was a whirlwind of passion, intrigue, and scandal, none more infamous than her tumultuous affair with gangster Johnny Stompanato. Their relationship was a volatile mix of desire and danger, marked by explosive arguments and fiery reconciliations, often said to happen with almost daily intensity. But their destructive romance met a tragic end when Turner's teenage daughter, Cheryl Crane, fatally stabbed Stompanato in what she claimed was self-defense, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. Yet Stompanato was only one chapter in Turner's storied love life. Her romances with stars like Tyrone Power and Fernando Lamas were filled with late-night rendezvous and unapologetic public displays of affection, providing endless fodder for gossip columns. With her undeniable allure and fearless embrace of passion, Lana Turner cemented herself as a Hollywood icon whose off-screen escapades were as legendary as her films. Lana Turner's breathtaking beauty and magnetic charm made her utterly irresistible, leading to 8 marriages, each beginning with fiery passion, but often unraveling due to personal differences. Despite the heartbreak and upheaval, Turner never wavered in her confidence or her pursuit of love. She embraced romance fearlessly, famously declaring, "Love and passion are the essence of my existence." Her unrelenting devotion to desire and deep connection solidified her status as one of Hollywood's most captivating legends. Leaving behind a legacy of scandal, seduction, and unbridled passion, Turner remains an enduring symbol of glamour, proving that love, no matter how tumultuous, was always worth the risk. Jean Harlow, Hollywood's original blonde bombshell, lived a life as bold and electrifying as the roles that made her a legend. Beneath her dazzling smile and signature platinum curls was a woman who craved passion, adventure, and intensity. Her short-lived marriage to MGM producer Paul Byrne, shrouded in whispers of turmoil and incompatibility, left her searching for fulfillment elsewhere. Harlow's romances became the stuff of Hollywood lore, playful, passionate, and often fleeting, yet always unforgettable. With her irresistible charm and magnetic allure, she drew admirers effortlessly, leaving behind a legacy not just of beauty and talent, but of a woman who embraced desire with fearless abandon. Jean Harlow was famously linked to co-stars like Clark Gable, with whom she shared an undeniable spark both on and off the screen. Her love affairs were as spontaneous as they were legendary, with whispers of impromptu rendezvous at lavish Hollywood soirees, on bustling film sets, and even stolen moments during lunch breaks. Friends often marveled at her effortless ability to turn seduction into an art form, blending razor-sharp wit with an irresistible charm. To Jeanne, love was a thrilling adventure, one she embraced with an uninhibited, playful spirit that left a lasting impression on everyone who crossed her path. Her tragic death at just 26 only deepened the mystique surrounding her, immortalizing her as a woman who lived, loved, and dazzled with a passion few could match. Jean Harlow wasn't just a star, she was a legend, burning brightly in Hollywood's golden age. During Hollywood's golden age, Marion Davies found herself at the center of a complex and high-stakes love triangle involving two of the most influential men of the era. The first was William Randolph Hearst, the powerful media tycoon who controlled a vast empire of newspapers and was among the wealthiest men in America. Despite being married, Hearst was deeply enamored with Marion and spared no expense in shaping her career and keeping her by his side. The second was Charlie Chaplin, the legendary silent film comedian, whose undeniable charm and wit also captivated Marion. Tensions escalated when Hearst began to suspect that Marion harbored feelings for Chaplin as well. Consumed by jealousy and paranoia, Hearst's anger only intensified, turning what was already a complicated affair into a volatile and dramatic entanglement that would leave a lasting mark on Hollywood history. A tragic twist unfolded when film producer Thomas Ince died under mysterious circumstances, sparking rumors of a deadly confrontation tied to the rivalry between Hearst and Chaplin over Marion. Speculation swirled that Hearst, in a jealous rage, may have intended to target Chaplin but mistakenly harmed Ince instead. However, with his vast media empire at his disposal, Hearst had the power to shape the narrative, ensuring that the true details of the incident remained shrouded in secrecy. This unsettling story serves as a powerful reminder of several key lessons. Secrecy can have dangerous consequences, unchecked jealousy can lead to irreversible actions, and honesty and respect are vital, even in moments of anger. In the end, the truth may be obscured, but the warnings from history remain clear. Clara Bow was one of Hollywood's earliest and brightest stars. Dubbed the It Girl, she had an irresistible charm that captivated audiences and made her one of the most famous actresses of the 1920s. Imagine today's biggest celebrities. Clara held that same level of fame in her time, but with immense stardom came relentless scrutiny. She became the target of vicious rumors, with people eager to tarnish her reputation. One of the most notorious attacks came from a reporter at the Coast Reporter who, out of spite, published cruel and baseless stories about her. Today, we would recognize this as a form of media bullying, but back then, few protections existed against the spread of false and damaging claims. Despite the challenges, Clara's legacy endures as a trailblazer who defined an era of Hollywood glamour and resilience.
Losing time, I'm fading fast.
Clara Bow's struggles extended beyond the pressures of fame. She also faced serious financial troubles. Despite being one of Hollywood's biggest stars, her finances were mismanaged by the person she trusted most, her father. It was as if she had entrusted a piggy bank full of hard-earned savings, only to have it recklessly emptied without her consent. Her hardships deepened in 1930 when she found herself entangled in a legal battle. A former secretary, caught stealing from Clara, tried to shift the blame onto her to escape punishment. It was the ultimate betrayal, like a trusted friend lying about you to save themselves. This ordeal only added to the burdens Clara was already carrying, making an already challenging life even more difficult. Yet despite it all, she remained an unforgettable icon, proving that even in the face of adversity, true stars never fade. The weight of these challenges became overwhelming for Clara Bow. forcing her to retire from filmmaking in her early 20s, an incredibly young age to walk away from such a thriving career. It was akin to a star athlete being pushed out of their sport while still at the top of their game. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of several key lessons. First, rumors and false accusations can inflict deep emotional and professional damage. Second, trust should be placed wisely, especially when it comes to managing one's finances. Lastly, even those who appear to have it all, fame, success, and admiration, can face battles unseen by the public. Clara's life, though filled with both triumph and hardship, remains a testament to resilience and the lasting impact of Hollywood's original It Girl. In the 1940s, Linda Darnell was one of Hollywood's rising stars, known for portraying sweet and virtuous characters on screen. Early in her career, she was often typecast in these roles, much like having a fixed reputation at school, whether as the diligent student or the kind friend, when deep down she wanted to be seen differently. Determined to break free from this image, Linda made a bold choice to take on more complex and daring roles, proving that she was more than just the good girl of Hollywood. However, not everyone embraced this transformation, and her decision came with its share of challenges and resistance. Yet, her courage in defying expectations set her apart, paving the way for a career filled with depth and versatility. During this time, Linda Darnell suffered a devastating betrayal. The person she trusted to manage her finances stole her money and vanished without a trace. It was like spending years saving up, only to have someone you rely on take everything and disappear. The loss left Linda heartbroken, and in her despair, she began making choices that took a toll on her well-being. She turned to alcohol as a way to cope, but instead of easing her pain, it only deepened her struggles. When people face heartbreak or betrayal, they sometimes seek comfort in unhealthy ways, believing it will help numb the pain. This is why reaching out to someone trustworthy in difficult moments is so important. Seeking support can offer clarity, prevent destructive decisions, and provide a path toward healing and resilience. Linda also struggled to find happiness in love. She married 3 times, but none of her marriages lasted. Rumors about her relationships with other celebrities further complicated her life, much like how gossip at school can hurt someone's feelings and make their life more difficult. As time went on, Linda's opportunities in film diminished, and she became increasingly depressed. Tragically, her life ended too soon in an accident involving a fire. She passed away at just 41 years old. Linda's story teaches us several important lessons. First, wanting to change and grow is completely natural, but having a strong support system is crucial. Second, it's essential to be cautious when entrusting others with important matters like finances. Finally, when feeling sad or struggling, it's far better to seek help from someone trustworthy rather than trying to face challenges alone. In the world of classic Hollywood, Jane Mansfield stood out as a truly unique figure. Like Mae West before her, she became famous not only for her acting, but also for her allure and her occasionally shocking behavior. Much like some modern celebrities who gain fame through their bold personalities and unconventional lifestyles. One of the most memorable moments of Jane's career was captured in a photograph that remains iconic to this day. In the image, fellow actress Sophia Loren is seen giving Jane a disapproving look, particularly at her plunging neckline and revealing dress. This photograph encapsulated much about how Jane was perceived, a woman unafraid to draw attention to herself, even if it made others uncomfortable. In her personal life, Jane Mansfield was known for her relationships with numerous celebrities. One of the most talked about stories was her rumored affair with President John F. Kennedy, though this was never confirmed. Such stories only added to the public's fascination with her life. A particularly intriguing chapter in Jane's story involved her connection to Anton LaVey, the founder of the controversial religious group known as the Church of Satan. Their relationship was complex and shrouded in mystery. Some claimed that Jane enjoyed teasing LaVey, even letting her friends listen in while she flirted with him, almost mocking his interest in her. When asked about their relationship, Jane consistently denied any deep connection, though LaVey maintained that they were quite close. Jane's story ended tragically when she died in an accident at just 34 years old. The mystery deepened when Anton LaVey claimed he had placed a curse on Jane's boyfriend, Sam Brody, who also perished in the accident. Whether or not this was true, it added yet another layer of intrigue to Jane's already fascinating life. Despite her early death, Jane left a lasting impression on Hollywood and American culture. She lived her life on her own terms, unapologetically embracing who she was without concern for others' opinions. Her bold and unconventional approach to fame influenced many celebrities who came after her. Today, she is seen as a pioneer for stars who choose to live authentically, defying societal expectations.